Hi guys, this is Michelle and I am back today to do a quick review, first impressions trial on the NYX Total Control foundation just before this wee baby is launched in the UK. Well, you will see me using it. It is what's on my face just now. Obviously I finished my face off with other products. You might find it odd that I'm doing a trial on this because I like a dewy finish to my foundation. I like to have a bit of a glow. I do not go for the matte foundation often, ever, actually, ever. However, I'm going to review this and show you. Wee spoiler alert, I love it. But yeah, no, have a wee look and you can see me applying it. You can see what I've done, what I've used, kind of opinions as I go. I will obviously come back and let you guys know how it's held up through the day. But honestly, my opinion for just now, so far so good. So you can see what I've done. So what I'm going to do first is I have already put some moisturiser on earlier on today. That's all kind of soaked in. Now I'm going to use the Ordinary High Spreadability Fluid Primer. I used to just pick a primer and go, this primer works for me, let's use it. That's what I used to do. I don't know if anybody else does the same or if it was just me. I don't do that now because depending on your foundation type depends on whether the primer will play nice with it or not. So basically what I just did was I just looked at this box, the ingredients, to see what, if it's water based or what it is. It's not. Cyclopentasiloxane is the first ingredient in this, so that is obviously a silicone. Not obviously, I don't know why I said obviously, however I know that is a silicone. So because it's a silicone based foundation, I know that I am best to use a silicone based primer. If you've got a kind of water based foundation and you go using a silicone primer, sometimes it will not play well. So yeah, let's crack on. I'm so excited guys, I'm so excited. I have seen this foundation for a while, being bandied around the Instagram and the likes, and I've seen a couple of people use it on YouTube. Actually, who was the first person I saw use it? It's Likely Makeup. Oh my goodness, Geordie, she's awesome. I'm actually going to link her channel right here, right here. Please go and look at her channel. She's so good. She has such kind of unique looks and she's just so beautiful. It's really cool. So at the risk of sounding like a pure maniac and weirdo, I will stop talking about her. So what I'll do is I will do the sponge on one side. So this foundation, it's called Total Control foundation. The shade I have is shade 7. It might be a bit dark. That's cool. It's very yellow toned and I like that. So it's called Total Control because it is totally within your control how this looks. It's meant to have a kind of matte velvety looking finish to it. Comes in a dropper bottle. What NYX do say? Two drops for a kind of light sheer type coverage. 3 drops for medium coverage. 4 for full. Now you can actually buy a brush with the foundation, the Total Control brush, and it's got like a wee indentation in the top that you drop your foundation into and buff it. You know. However, I have just got these gorgeous BH Cosmetics Metals Rose Gold collection. This is brush number 2. Okay, so let's see how many drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's too many drops. However, it's cool. Oh no, and it's a new brush, so it'll just be absorbed straight into the bristles. Now I'm just kind of pressing that in rather than buff buff buff. Oh my goodness, it seems to kind of set down fairly quickly. Although that was a whole load of drops that I have just used and not even covered this cheek. The fact this is a new brush, it will absorb a load, so that was a bit stupid of me. Let's do this. That's my thing. Straight in the face. Looks so good. Okay. Definitely better. So I generally like quite a dewy looking foundation. I'm not so into a matte look usually. However, it's this foundation. Every time I see pictures of MD wearing it, I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Now my skin is quite dehydrated, so I do have fairly big pores. So this is actually quite a good shade. Man, maybe a wee bit dark for me. I know that people think it doesn't look dark. This shade is natural. It's very yellow toned, which is good. I've got a lot of redness in my face just now, but my body does not. See, it's probably too dark for me, but it is definitely the right tone. Okay, lower half of face. Done. Now, I've used that silicone primer. The benefit of that, I have really big, huge, large pores around this kind of area. Don't know if you can or can't see. It's probably good if you can't. They are often really visible with foundation. I don't think they're too bad with this, but silicone primer does help. Most pore filler primers tend to have a silicone base. You can tell if something's a silicone base often because a lot of the time, if it's a silicone base, you will feel it. It will feel super soft, velvety in your hands. Not always, but if it's pure silicone, it will. Okay, so, what's going on here? There's like no coverage. What have I done? What have I done? I'll go back over that. Okay, so that is some with a brush. Let's try it a wee bit with my Real Techniques sponge, which is lovely and wet. I'm going to just drop this straight onto my face. How red I am. I've tried to go for 4 drops there. It's meant to be 4 for your full face, I believe. However, oh, sponge. Much better. Oh my goodness, why did I even use a brush? Sponge is much better application. Oh my goodness. Do you know something? I don't tend to use a beauty sponge often. I'm not usually a fan. Yep. If you have this, if you buy this foundation, I absolutely suggest you apply with a sponge. Unless you want a super sheer coverage. But then just apply with a sponge and use less drops actually. Oh my goodness, that is so much better. I actually can't believe the difference. That's crazy. Crazy. Oh wow. So I would say you can still see some freckles shining through on me there. Very buildable. I don't like matte foundations. What a crazy comment when I've just got this. However, I like this. I do like this. The reason I don't like a matte foundation on me is I feel I'm too old for it. I feel that matte emphasises my lines, my wrinkles, my pores. I've just used that silicone primer though, by The Ordinary. Honestly, this is lovely. I really like this. This kind of, I do love a dewy look. I do. I like this though. Oh, nice. Honestly, this is just amazing. I'm really impressed with this so far. So far so goody. We were going to see how this holds up through the day because it is a first impression. I've not used this before, got it yesterday and was so excited. Like honestly, last night I was lying in bed thinking, oh, I'm going to do my foundation tomorrow. How sad am I? How very sad. So yeah, it's really lovely. I have fine lines and wrinkles. Let me come closer to the camera if I can, or zoom you in actually. So you can see I have fine lines and wrinkles. Under eye, I'm going to use some concealer. Now, I have large pores around this area here. That primer's definitely helped. Actually, considering it's a matte foundation, which I think usually emphasises these things, it really hasn't. The sponge is definitely much better coverage. Absolutely recommend using a sponge. This is the Real Techniques one. My forehead, I love that coverage. You hardly see any of my lines, wrinkles, pores. I just need to even up how much of the product I have on because it's a bit uneven. Got a lot of redness around this area of my face. Oh, sugar! My goodness, I never do eye makeup first, ever. ever, ever. The one day that I do, that happens. Do you know the thing is, like, normally, could go, that's cool, I'll just pop a bit of mascara on over that. I don't have lashes of my own. My bottom ones today are drawn in, my top ones are falsies. I have no eyelashes, so I don't own mascara. Actually, I'm going to try some of my Kat Von D tattoo liner. Right, there we go. Touch up. That job is completed. Man, I love that so much. Right, let's try the concealer over it. Let's try some concealer. I'm using the collection Lasting Perfection in Fair. Yeah, super duper cheap. If you're in the UK, this wee baby's pretty good. I have my Tarte Shape Tape packed away. I have everything just about packed away actually. And my husband did tell me that doesn't mean it's an excuse to just start ordering loads more. Okay. So I'm so excited about moving house. I'm hoping we'll be moving next week, which is pretty exciting. At the moment we're in a 3-bedroom flat. There are 6 of us. There is my husband, there is me, obviously, and our 4 babies, who are kind of awesome. And I may be biased, but I don't care because they are awesome. They are. I might be biased, it doesn't stop it being true. I love my kids so much, and at the moment my 2 girls share a bedroom and 2 boys share a bedroom. So when we move, our babies will all have their own bedrooms, and it's kind of nice that we're going to be in a house, have a garden, and it's just wonderful. Just along the road from my parents. I'm so happy. My health has been pretty rotten, and I have been staying with my parents a lot of the time while the husband is at work. I like this. I like my concealer beard. Yeah, so it's really nice actually. It's really, really good. Just along the road from my parents. I have said to my mum, that means it's going to be Macaroni Monday. She's like, what? I'm like, every Monday we're coming to you. We are literally walking along the road and it's Macaroni Monday. I was like, macaroni every Monday. Bless her, do you know what my mum said? She's like, okay. If I was her, I would have said, Michelle, beat it. But she never. We love her macaroni, it is the best. She makes a mean macaroni. She taught me how to do it, but mine never tastes as good. I don't know if it's the cheese that I use or what it is. Mine never tastes as good. I'm convinced she has a secret ingredient she's not sharing with me. She says to me, I do, it's mustard. And I'm like, eh. But yeah, I've done that. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't. Now, I realise my neck is not the right colour. So, let's do this. Let's blend this neck out. Because I've got a lot of redness in my neck as well. My body's so pale. It does look like this foundation is far too pale for me. It's actually quite dark for me. See, if you can find an area with no tattoo. It's just I have so much redness. I really do. Now, I have to say the concealer blended in quite beautifully with this foundation. I'm really quite in love with this foundation. I didn't think I would be. I thought I would maybe like it, but say not so much for people of my age, which is, I am 35, and I don't know if other people are like me. I'm starting probably in the last year to get fine lines and wrinkles, especially under my eyes. And I have a scar here and here, so matte foundations don't generally work for me. This, however, I do, honestly, I really like it. I don't really like the way that I got it in that eyelash. I don't like that. I'm going to use my Kat Von D tattoo liner and go over that though and sort that issue out. I can't get it, it's not even dried in yet. Contour, highlight, all that good stuff. Actually, do you know what I'm going to use? This is Music Flower. It's called 5 Colours Kit Concealing and Shading Powder. So we have a super duper white on top. I'm just going to use that under eye. That's what I'm going to do. Zoeva Face Curve Brush. Oh, it smells quite nice. It smells like Smells like my nana. I remember my nana always had this smell. I don't know, it was like really clean, and it's not like talc, but it's kind of like talc. It probably is talc. It's a lovely smell though. Ah, nice, I like it. Oh, some sort of flowery. I like the centre of my face to be nice and matte, I do. Okay, so the final colour on this wee Music Flower 5-piece kit, it's not, that's plastic, that would be where there's a wee makeup sponge that I have removed. And my wee boy wanted it, my youngest. He loves makeup sponges that come out of things. Not when they've got anything on them, just like likes them when they come. And he rubs it in his face and he goes, ah, my face softener. So there we go, this is the kind of darkest shade on this, which is nice if you're quite fair for a contour. Okay. If you're neutral toned or you're kind of pinky tones, it might be a wee bit warm. It's kind of perfect if you've got yellowy undertones. I am really rubbish at trying to find a decent kind of contour, because I tend to find on me things like a lot of the time they will be really warm, like proper full-on bronze, or they are so cool that I end up looking muddy. So everything's going on really nicely on top of this foundation, and I'm going to use a smaller brush for there. Anyway, there's not a shadow, let's create one. Try and look slimmer. You know what I was just thinking there, the finish on this foundation reminds me slightly, not totally, ever so slightly of the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. It's not the same. There's something about it that I find is kind of similar. I think. I don't know if I want to make my whole nose look super sharp, or if I want to just do that and then have it kind of coming out a bit more natural at the bottom. I think we're coming out more natural at the bottom today. That was not a plan, it just kind of happened. Now what I do love with this wee 5-piece thing, I love the fact it was super duper cheap. Obviously I love that. What I'm going to do though is along the bottom, kind of U shape here, because I want that to be like a wee ball. It does blend quite nicely into the foundation, I have to say, this stuff. I've started packing my makeup for moving. Yeah. The one thing that I use all the time is the one thing that's packed. So the first highlight I grabbed was my Dandelion Twinkle by Benefit Cosmetics. Again, this is a new one for me. I used it the other day, it's really nice, I do quite like it. So I'm using my Morphe G37 brush. I love it because it gives a good glow, but it's not at all glittery. It's very powdery, but it doesn't look it. It does give a really, really nice sheen, I believe. It's lovely, it's really nice. I wasn't sure of the smell the other day. When I smelled it I was like although now I'm kind of like, oh, I like. I don't know why I'm doing this, just because I'm crazy. Nobody's seen my shoulders, however. It's just shining a little blush. and the shade is Pixie Pink 936. Guys, that's the pink of it. So this could turn out to be an epic fail. Let's appreciate until this happens. No. So I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics #1 brush. This is a matte pink. It is very pigmented, so, oh, this is a lovely brush, by the way. It's so soft. These BH Cosmetic brushes are quite nice, they're so soft. Yeah, baby. I think we're done. Voila! Okay. If you wanted to add a kind of blush topper, or if you wanted a kind of shimmery type blush rather than matte type blush, the Blushing Hearts by I Heart Makeup Makeup Revolution is a triple baked blusher. It's super shimmery and super pigmented, which puts a lot of people off. I have there this one. I have the Peachy Pink Kisses. Peachy Pink Kisses looks like the Too Faced, but this is super shimmery. I actually use that as a highlight. You can use it as a blush topper as well. That one, very shimmery. Again, this is very shimmery, cooler toned. I'm actually going to do some. I'm just going to pop some on. It is super pigmented and shimmery. It's more of a sheen, it's not glittery. It is a sheen from it. It is definitely though a shimmery one, so if you're not into your shimmer, avoid and just go for the sleek. I just fancied that there. Oh, I've not even got my lips on. What? I'm going to go for the NYX Lip Lingerie. I'm going to go with the shade Bustier. NYX, oh, hit myself. NYX Lip Lingerie. But first of all, I'm going to do a wee line in the lips with my NYX Retractable Lip Liner in Jewel. Okay, so a wee summary of my first impression on the NYX Total Control Foundation. This is beautiful. I am not into matte foundation normally, however this wee baby has proved me wrong. What I would say is applying with a brush, I had very minimal, very sheer coverage, even with a lot of drops. When I use my Real Technique sponge, damp sponge, to apply, all of a sudden it was like, whoo, so much better coverage. I have dehydrated skin, semi-prone to dry, although not flaky, just dry, generally dry skin, and I tend not to like matte foundations. A big part of that is to do with my age and the fact I've got lines, fine lines and wrinkles, especially under eye, and just generally signs of ageing, being 35 and the likes. However, this doesn't seem to emphasise them, which is kind of, I do like a dewy look. However, yeah, I actually really love this. I want to see how this holds up through the day. Blending on top of this, I actually would say was pretty good. Yeah, the majority of everything blended well on top of it. I would say though, I did not set it because it was matte and it dried down, but when I was contouring and trying to blend in my contour, it did lift ever so slightly part of the foundation in this area. I then blushed and so you don't really see it anyway. What I would suggest is if you're going to be doing contour and a lot of blending, is maybe lay down a wee bit of it, just ever so light, whether you use a translucent or a skin type tone. I'm not saying bake and all that kind of stuff, I'm just saying maybe just a wee dab with powder to set it down so that you can then blend on top. But generally blending on top was fine. I obviously didn't do anything to set my nose, and I contoured it to oblivion because it's fat. It's fat and I wanted it to look nice and cute and small. So I blended the contour with an eyeshadow brush down there. Totally fine. Honestly, I really love this. I really love this foundation. NYX, it's great. If you're in... Hi guys, it's me. I am just back for a bit of a check-in and probably just to sum up the video. This is me after 9. I actually had to sit and look at my watch and count how many hours. 9.5 hours wear. I am in daylight at the moment. I've had this on since early morning. It's held up so well, it's not broken up anywhere. My blusher's in place, my contour, everything has just held perfectly. Around my nose I tend to break up a bit or become awfully porous looking. Porous? You see all my pores. They look very enlarged often and that starts to come through. Around my nose I get a lot of fade usually, my chin and my forehead when I get sweaty. This is phenomenal. Honestly, this little miracle I love. This might be one of my new favourite foundations. This is amazing. So you get 13 mils as opposed to 30, and in theory you shouldn't need to use as much. Obviously, as I've already said at the start of the video, I would recommend using a damp beauty sponge to apply. It is much easier than using a brush. So this is 9 hours wear, guys. This is amazing. This is just phenomenal. In fact, you know, earlier on I had headwear on most of the day. I had it on, I had it off. I was too hot. I then came in and I thought I'll just put a wig on. This is the John Renault Hot. If you want to watch a review, and that I'll link it up here. However, the reason I'm saying, obviously I put this in my head earlier. Let's have a look and see how it's held up under the wig. Okay. Wow. Right, so I've had headwear on, headwear off, headwear on, headwear off all day, and the foundation's still there. I normally have a big line around where my wig has been or where headwear is because it takes the foundation with it. I am so impressed. I absolutely recommend this. NYX, you are wonderful. If you guys want to see any more reviews of any makeup products, any wigs, anything, if you want, just let me know down below what you'd like to see. Thanks for watching. Please do give me a thumbs up if you like this or if you want to see more of these sort of things. And I'll be back with you very soon. Bye guys. Love you lots. Mwah.